straight into the deck. How about that? As you can see, I have one deck that I'm using for observation purposes. I don't know why. I don't even know what deck this is. This is like from I think last month, or I don't even know what deck this is. These are my other decks. These are my event decks. We're not going to go through those. This hero deck is kind of the same or reflective of this. The only difference is the fact that this one has link monsters and few other things probably, and this one doesn't, clearly because fusion event. And then we have the rest of my other decks. Like this one's a theme deck that's close to me because hey, look, we're at Sasuke Uchiha here. Anywho, Dragon Master Knight, yeah, anywho, Elden Ring deck. So, what's this consist of and why did I make it? Okay, so first, we're going to why did I make this deck in first. Let's go all the way down. And Royal Force. Okay, so the problem, or what happened, because originally, I've had, let's put this by chain. Originally, I pulled these cards as my Royal Finish cards. So when I did the Thunder Dragon one, it was like, I could play Thunder Dragon. The problem is I don't think I had that many Thunder Dragons to begin with. And now I pulled these two back to back. And then for the longest, these are the only 3 Royal Finish cards I've had for a good minute. So this one, obviously I made a Thunder Dragon deck. It doesn't have Lupine in it, whatever the fuck it has, whatever. Either way goes, this is in this current deck because it's used to summon Colossus. Obviously giving me about 2 windows to summon Colossus. There's a few other windows to summon as well, such as if I have, I don't know if polymerization will fuse these two together to make Colossus. Because the problem was it says Thunder Dragon plus 1 Thunder Monster. Okay, cool. But I pretty much just summon it without the polymerization premise anyways. Because for whatever reason I can't, for whatever reason it acts like it doesn't want to summon the other way, or I have these 2 in my hand but I don't have Invocation or Polymerization in my hand, so I'm not able to go into Colossus basically. So in order to go into Colossus, I basically triggered one of these effects and then sacrifice one of these other monsters to summon it, which is typically one of the weaker monsters or a monster that like let's say if their level, if I screwed up their level somehow, or my enemy negated, or my enemy lowered the level to like 1 or something, because I think there's a Predator Plant deck that lowers level to 1, then in that case I can sacrifice after I already triggered Thunder Dragon, then summon Thunder Dragon, which I've done in my previous play, but whatever. Anywho, that's why that's there. Draytron's not in this deck. Originally I tried to place it in the deck because originally this deck is called Elden Ring. There's also so I can use all my Royal foils. This is a Royal foil that I got that I forgot that I even obtained, but it's also not like I can't. There's no configuration of this deck that can use this card or can benefit from using this card. Granted, it's a wind and it's also wind beast, so these 2 can use it along with whatever else, but it's a thorn. It doesn't flow for anything. All it does is stop an attack for like once or so. It's basically useless. It's not a tuner. It's a level 2. It's not like I have that many differences with my fusion. Synchro summoning anyways. Like the synchros that's in there is literally because of the soy swords. Relay Soul is not in there because this is literally useless. The concept of Relay Soul, it sounds good if you have a card that could be special summoned to it and become game changing, but the fact that Mirror Force, you all of a sudden lose the duel instantaneously. Anything else, Mirror Force doesn't destroy. Yeah, it does destroy. So yeah, Mirror Force, instantaneously destroy. Dark Hole, instantaneously destroy. Anything to the sword, not Dark Hole, because you can't do Dark Hole in response, but the fact is, anything can literally get rid of the monster that you summon. Or the monster gets Nibiru'd on the next turn, or whatever. Or during Nibiru gets does so during. So therefore, again, it kills the whole purpose of having a Relay Soul. Because it can be canceled, like the monster can be. Extricate, this has saved me because everybody and their mamas is playing DP. Now the reason why I'm playing DP is because he's a hero, and why would you not? I have it in my Dueling Nexus deck. I have it IRL, but I have a Japanese. I think it's a Japanese Korean card. I have to go look. But I have a Japanese. I'm pretty sure Japanese. Ultimate rare. It's either ultimate or I don't think it's ghost. It's either ultimate or secret rare. I forgot. But either way, I have an ultimate rare. DP. So again, that's why Shadow Mist is in here. Because Shadow Mist is a royal foil. If Shadow Mist wasn't a royal foil, then DP wouldn't be in this deck, and Malicious wouldn't be in this deck. I probably would have more. In fact, actually, I pretty much would have. Like, if I didn't have a lot of hero cards in here, I probably would have. This deck would probably be Draytron with Sword Soul, Invoked, obviously because I love my Invoked shit, but also because hey, look, a royal foil. So Mechaba is the go-to, and Mechaba's a think in every deck that I have. The only probably exception is like a deck that doesn't have light monsters, which FYI, I don't play dark themed decks unless it's heroes. That's the only dark themed deck that I have, or a deck that has like predominantly dark monsters, typically speaking. So Mechaba's in basically every other deck. Again, this is a lifesaver because everybody has a level 8 monster in their extra deck. Either they got Burlord Savage Dragon because they're playing Link monsters, and Christian Hellkey Fibrax goes into that, or at least they use it to go into Burlord Savage. So yeah, there's that. And again, I already explained the hero thing. This is again, these two I pulled back to back. I pulled this one first, and then pulled this one after. So when I pulled this one, I was like, I'll probably have to use Sword Soul because you have literally every other copy of the Sword Soul card, so why not? And then I pulled this and it became like I have the set. So I put one of for almost all the Sword Soul cards. Where's the Sword Soul card? Here's one. Let's go to related cards. As you can see, I have basically one of for everything. I have the glossy finishes for all of them, except for this one because it's the ultra rare. So basically, for this deck specifically, if it is a ultra rare, or wait, why is this not glossy? I have to correct that. But yeah, basically, I have the glossy copy in the deck for basically everything. This is in the deck because it says 5. Why would I use 5? It's not gonna happen. Even so, I don't care that much. It's one more trap. I think it was in the deck for a little while, but I pulled it out. The same goes for a couple other trap cards. These two are useful. This one's good because I'm using Tinyi anyways, aka these, as well as this one over here. So I might as well have another card to represent that. But it's also because it's an excuse to summon Blood's Ultimate Dragon, even though I don't need Blood's Ultimate Dragon. Blood's Ultimate Dragon and Black Glove Soldier are both cards that I thoroughly enjoy, and there's no way to fuse these two together, but because I love Dragon Master Knight, it's going to be in there. Plus, sometimes this gets triggered. It's either a main effect gets triggered or it's summoning effect, one of the two. So that's always good as a precaution. Hey, they're playing destruction cards. That's a good target. And normally, people surrender when I summon Ultimate Dragon anyways, especially if Ultimate Dragon's on the field with Malicious Bane. You're sitting there like, Malicious Bane didn't die. Yes, he did die. Or they destroy cards, and then I had another Mass Change, that Mass Change 2 in here, but I took it out. Which is why BLS has space. Cards I just put in here is Invoke Elysium, as well as BLS. Cards that, as well as Caligia. I used to have Instant Fusion in this deck, but I took it out. I took Thousands out of Restrict out. And Relinquish Anima was never in this deck because I should put it in here because it's teeny, but it doesn't matter all that much. Either way, yeah, so one of each is in there. I should probably correct that foil. Let's do that now. also using PlayStation, so it takes a hell lot longer. Oh, look at Glossy. Okay, cool. Let's what am I looking for? TV. Oh. As you can see, all four things. So, let's kill that. Okay. Put that vibrate. Okay. Anyway, so best way to explain this. I think I already explained. Let's make sure. I think I went through all the royal foils. If I did, then that basically explains why certain cards are in the deck. Yeah, at least as far as their themes. Yeah, so everything is in the deck because I was going to make the deck blue, so all these are in here, all of those, and then these two minus the Greatron, so it's only 3 cards behind. Cool. And then, as for cards there are, why are they in here? Blacklisted Soldier. Okay, well, let's reset that. Let's go into here. Let's go to link that. And go to level. Alright, so link 5s. I could easily put link 5s in. This is useful as frag muffins. The problem is it only takes one of my opposition cards. So basically, if I'm able to summon for a sword dragon now, I'm only using them because of his attack. Now just typically speaking, I don't like this portion of the cards as far as usability because they're cores. So okay, here's the link. Alright, use that, blah 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 blah. So cards I use, obviously, BLS. This would be used if I use Mech Knights. I have a Mech Knight deck, or I have a couple of decks that have Mech Knights in it. So, there be that, for example. If this was a hero deck, this would be in there because this is the deck for general play. So, all that. Okay, cool. So that's why BLS is in there because he only requires 3 monsters, and for some strange reason or another, there's instances where my positions will probably negate or lock down my monster, like, oh, my monster can't attack at all, or there's some other prohibition, something else that prohibits it, like maybe my monster is a level, obviously, fucking gajillion, like from 10 and up, like 10, 11, so it's like, you know, oh, okay, but yeah, I have, you know, high level monsters, man. All these monsters can't be used to, they can't attack, okay, no big deal. If I have 3 monsters, then I'll go and link some in BLS. Why? Because it bypasses the number limit. I would put Zeus in the deck, but there's no real space. That in any given time, it's not like I have 2 level 6 monsters on the field, or 2 level 4 monsters on the field, or anything like that. So because of that, because there isn't that many moments where that occurs, there's no reason for me to put like a level 4 or level 6 link monster or level 11 link monster in there and then go to Zeus. Like, yeah, I can use Zeus. There's no reason. I love it. Yeah, like that. So there, that be there. Oh look, there's Zeus right there. Look at that. So that's the reason why Zeus or any other exceed. As far as synchros go, let's look at our synchros. Let's go to this one. Now, why is Geomath make Final Sigma in there and a bunch of other crap isn't? Like, why not? Or the other question, or the better question, why am I not using one of every other level synchro kind of thing? Why am I not doing that? Why do I have a bunch of fusions? Well, again, it goes into the factor of the royal finish. Since I have a royal finish invoked, I should use invoke. This will probably never trigger, but it's basically in case this is negated permanently or something, then I can just summon over, or this is in the graveyard that I'm summoning. Plus one more monster that's summoned from the extra deck. This is normally useful with what is it, Super Poly. The problem is when I had Super Poly in this deck, it never had a use, or it never was used. Part of that could be because I never had Caligia in the deck. The problem with Caligia though, because again I could just put a Dark E-Hero in here that isn't not a shiny. I have to reevaluate to make sure all my rares and commons are shiny in here. So, what's what and what's why? So, teeny cards, related cards. These are all the teeny cards in fact, let's go into and actually type teeny. Try and go. The fuck? Why is that? Let me see. Squared. Oh, that's don't let me. Okay. So all the teeny cards. I'm using one of these and one of these because I think they're the deck that I was looking at, and it has these in here. And then by playing the game, like, oh, okay, you know what? These are they're excellent walls because 2,500, 2,600. This would be good if I actually use like an all teeny worm deck. Same goes for this one, but I'm not. So, one of these obviously should go out to the dragon. This is in there because it should be one worm monster and add one worm monster from your deck to your hand. I don't know how this works. It would probably be useful, but from your deck to your hand, or if you tributed a non-effect monster to activate this card, you can special summon it instead, but negate its effect during your battle. Whatever. Either way it goes, it's useful if I play normal monsters, which I don't. And if I play, basically, yeah, if I play normal monsters or all worm monsters, basically TV cards or Sword Soul, then there's no, other than that, there's no purpose. And then you got this, which is literally the definition of why the fuck am I playing this? It's literally a why? Anyway, then you have other genie cards. This doesn't make sense. But, oh, I know why. Because these are genie cards I have. Because I never pulled from the Tinky pack, so I don't have Tinky pack, so I don't have the Link monster. I have the Link monster, but I don't have the Synchro. So I should and could, because might as well, but I'm not playing a pure Sword Soul deck. Sword Soul team. If I did, that would be cool. Because I have, again, another worm. Now the Arch Nemesis cards, I'm putting these in here because I've seen one deck profile that had this one had Protos. I put Arch Nemesis Escantos. It's not Chan, but it's Eschatos. Whatever. Either goes, Eschatos is in here because I like this card. Like, I've always wanted to use the Arch Nemesis cards or Nemesis cards to begin with, but I only use this one for my Thunder Dragon, and I don't use this one. This one I don't even own, and I don't use this one because again I have to use Nemesis cards or the Arch Nemesis cards. But this deck has enough diversity to get away with that, you know, because I'm using these to summon Colossus, or I have no choice but to use it anyways because I need to have one of these to summon one of these. This is another way to summon one. Like throw a Thunder monster in there. The number of worms and the warriors in there, or worms and spellcasters, or whatever. Throw a Thunder monster in there. Destiny Hero Malicious, I have as 2 because again it only goes with 2 anyways. Dashers, a self-explanatory card because everybody and their mamas has these 2 in their deck. Now the difference between mine and theirs is I'm only running these because I have Shadow Mist. I'm only running heroes because I have Shadow Mist. So throw the Destiny heroes in there, throw an Evil hero in there, and some of my favorite Malicious Bane, Evil, and Dominance, because Dominance is literally one of my favorite Destiny heroes. DPE is one of the cards I hate because it reminds me of Dragoon, probably because I like Dragoon. The problem, though, or the thing with it is, unlike Dragoon, which gets stronger and you don't really have, I mean, there's outs for it, but you can't you can barely consistently get rid of the damn card. DPE, you can relatively consistently get rid of, as my quote justification. Like, if you have DP and your opponent has DP, the best way to get rid of that is literally to trigger after they have triggered theirs. So if you summon DP after they already had DP, you won. You already won to do it. Like, there's nothing, at least you won a DPE match. There isn't really anything they can do unless they can call by the grave you. Like, if they can't call by the grave you, then that's why this is at 2. Like, this, I think they put this at 2 at least. I forgot. Either way it goes, call by the grave is in here because DPE exists. If DPE didn't exist, I would probably put something else in its spot anyways because I don't care. But hey, why not? But again, because again, the Shadow Mist is in here because, I mean, that's why Shadow Mist. I mean, Shadow Mist is gonna be in here anyways. But the hero package, like I would basically, regardless, use an Evil hero Destiny build. I would basically use Destiny hero Malicious Bane regardless. I would use Celestial regardless because it's always in my Destiny hero decks anyways. Dasher, I never really use. The only real reason I have it in there now is like, oh, it's kind of convenient if I could just, use the special summon a monster that, like, let's say I'm not using, or I only have one Thunder Dragon Dark in the deck anyway, so I can't activate the effect anyway. So, and then I pull it while Dasher's in the grave. Then okay, then I can use that. That's a free summon, free summon in defense mode or whatever. Which I can then use for something else. This is in the deck because Nibiru's in the deck, and this reminds me of like the creature that is actually summoned from Nibiru. It kind of, like in concept, kind of, maybe, sort of, pretty much, not really, for whatever reason. These two are the most recent added to the deck. I've always had Nibiru, but again, these are the two most recent added to the deck. The proof of me always have Nibiru. Obviously, I don't have Nibiru. If I did, then that would be weird. But again, I don't know. Like, this is up here too, but that's because I'm doing some cards in there. Oh, even though I've already have a Draytron. And then they numbered it to 2, probably to 1, which wasn't a problem for me anyways because I never really used this Cyber Angels, and then I started using the Cyber Angels because like, oh, it does, at least for consistent purposes, helps my Draytron deck out a lot. But everybody and their mama doesn't just play regular Draytron, they play lock out your opponent from playing the game, and the loop is too intensive and it annoys the fuck out of me, so I'm backing away from Draytron for a while. That, and then luckily, because of the nerf, quote, of the Cyber Angel being banned, but what needs to be limited or banned entirely, relatively banned, is Ava. If Ava gets banned, Draytron, you would definitely stop seeing people play Draytron, because then they won't be able to use the whole super duper loop that they were using. I mean, they'll probably find another way, and they clearly obviously like Draytron, but they like Cyber Angel Draytron. They like the fairies. They don't really like pure Draytron. Like, I use Draytron, everybody uses Draytron. Or everyone has like at least one Draytron deck. They don't always. Anyway, I have like 20 plus Draytron decks. Not in this game, obviously, but IRL, I have several different Draytron decks. Dueling Nexus, I have different Draytron decks. In fact, Dueling Nexus, I actually have 20. IRL, I have enough cards for it, but I never actually built all of them. Like, I have 2 of them, I think. Oh, one of them I know for sure is completely built. And then the other 2 are like, they're missing a card because I took a card out or I give it away. So they're kind of like, they're still, I can always just, throw another card in, no big deal. But whatever. Anywho, hopefully this explains the deck as to why everything is. The premise of this deck is also to have the highest rarity of every card in here possible. So for the for the rares and the commons or normals, whatever you want to call them, commons, I want to make sure all of them are shiny. So Caligula needs to be shiny. Caligula was just added to the deck anyways, so it's not like I always knew it. Like, oh my god, why isn't it shiny? It's like, oh, I forgot. It's not shiny. No big deal. What else wasn't shiny? The Chingy card wasn't shiny, so now I have a shiny version. All the ultras and the supers, you know, they're shiny variants and whatever. I don't have, so it doesn't matter. Or I never owned them, so it doesn't matter. Like this, I don't have one. And, you know, something like that. I believe this wraps it up. These are in here because there's a lot of type and attribute diversity, or decent enough. These are in here because they're good hand traps. So this IDK, like I never been able to summon this card. The person kind of like quit the game before they were able to summon it, so it's whatever. This is in here because obviously it's a sword, so, but it's also because it's a freaking useful card. Like it's super useful. Oops. Yeah. Soy sword. Let's see what else. Evil Heroes explain, and Roku explain because Megaza. So I had the wind one in here as well, but that's when I had instant fusion. So I had that, and that was not restricted here. But I took that out because I already had too many spell cards. I had more spell cards in here than I think I had monsters. And I had 4 traps in here. I took two of them. One of them was Solemn Judgment. The other one I think was Witch's Strike. But I took both of those out. Witch's Strike is highly useful, but I want to keep this back to 240. So that polymerization's in here because why not? Like, you can fuse from the hand or the field, whereas this only allows me to fuse from the hand, and this is hand or graveyard. This one's literally from the deck, and doesn't, you know, doesn't allow you to do anything. So switch from the by using cards from your hand or deck. Okay, but not the field. The fact is, polymization is still inclusive, so that's why. I think there was another reason why polymization was in here, and I don't have that card in here anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But polymization, you can't really, you can go wrong with it. You can't. I couldn't play this for what the hell is it called? Super Poly, but that's one of the debatable cards. Like, this is debatable now. Plus, well, Super Poly would be useful, because then I could Super Poly their Destiny Hero Destroyer when he uses his effect, and then override. But that's only like a 1 instant kind of thing. And the other thing would be like if they have an invoked, then I can go into her. But again, Alistair. But again, I could use this and use my invoked card with theirs. So we're going to swap that out now. Might as well talk about it. Yeah, I believe I thought of it before. It's correct. Let's type this one there. Sort the rarity. Close that. Poly. Save again. See what not yeah. Oh wait. Get this. Related cards. This one. Related card. Oops, wrong button. Generate. Oh, there we go. Awesome. All those. Get this shit out of here. Yeah, I believe it's all glossy. All the glossy deck. Well, this is glossy. These are glossy. That's glossy. Make sure everything in here is up to par. Save and quit. Now, win ratios. My shitty win ratios. Here, I just got gold 1 and pretty much about to promote. Which is pretty useful. Because at first, gold 2 was the highest. No, gold 3 was the highest I would get to. Like, I get your gold 3 and then all of a sudden you lose weird matches or whatever. Or one of these games, the game bugged out on me. But I think it was a previous duel that I did upload to YouTube, or it should be next video. But either way it goes, this one right here is my win streak. This was kind of one of those, hey, that's kind of cool. And yeah, I had to put it on there. And then I kind of like lost a couple of games. Gold 1 and then won 1 and then lost 2-1. So it's whatever. The usual. But these, you know, winning back to back, is more of a, like, you summon them up, or you play a card, or you negate their card or whatever, and then all of a sudden they just go the game. Yeah. So that'd be that. Another look at the deck. There's that. I'm gonna screenshot that as well. Alrighty, peace out.